Right, hello. Let's have a look at some palms. Specifically, I've got 6 species of palms here, so I'm just going to do this corner. And this is like 2 weeks after the hard frost patch we had, where we were getting -3s and -4s for almost 2 weeks solid. This is 2 weeks on. I thought we'd have a look and see what damage we can see. So a selection of 6 palms here. Some I expect to be fully hardy, undamaged, and maybe a couple that more on the tender side. So let's have a closer look. We'll go through them, have a look, see what we're looking at in terms of damage. So first of all, we've got a nice little waggy here, and I brought 4 waggies all at the same time as fairly small plants, probably only a couple of years old. I've had these for about 4 years now, so they're not the quickest of the Trachycarpus species, not quickest growing palm whatsoever, but they are really nice, sturdy, and really thick leaves. And you know, even with -4, we know that these are going to be hardy down to at least -15 for short periods, but no damage on these whatsoever. You know, look as good as they do in the summer. They can take the winter cold, no problem. We were saying about 18 inches of trunk on that. And we can see the sort of size of the leaves at the minute. It's still small and compact. Really good wind resistant palm. Never had a worry about that one. Another Trachycarpus, I sort of looked at it in a previous video a week or so ago. That's the Nova, and again, no damage on that whatsoever. Didn't expect to get any damage on that. You know, it's the Trachycarpus genes in that. That is a nice solid hardy palm as well. So there's a couple that we knew weren't going to be an issue. One that I thought might be showing a bit of damage, but at the moment can't see any. So this is actually a Bootea aerospaetha, which I've had, I think, for 4 years now. It's been in the ground from a little strap leaf, and this is the first year it's sort of been totally unprotected, as it were. I did have last few years I just had like a sheet of perspex over it just to protect it, but we thought, well, it's been in the ground now, it's felt the cold, let's leave it totally unprotected and see how it goes. And even with that very cold period we had, I'm not seeing any sign of damage at all. Looking really good. Even at the ends, we have obviously got some old leaves which are slightly browning at the ends there, but that's nothing to do with the cold damage, that is already there. So we know that this is going to be quite a sturdy palm. And to be fair, I found this a little bit quicker growing than your standard Bootea odorata. It's definitely a little bit quicker and a little bit hardier. I think this is also known as the hairy trunked Bootea. A lot more fibres around the trunk, so I think that probably helps it with in terms of cold protection. And it does seem to have quite a nice bluish petioles. But yeah, again, so that is a palm that I had no concerns with, really. I mean, you know, it's possible if you just got a brand new one of these and slapped it in the ground, and yeah, it probably would take damage. But like I say, this has been hardened off over the last couple of years, and I believe that this is going to take anything that the a UK winter can throw at it. So another one which is a little less common, Chamaedorea volcano, and this particular one has got like the white back to the leaves. So that's quite a nice feature. I mean, Camrops do vary a lot anyway, so I mean if you get a pure white back leaf for your standard Camrops, I mean that's normally classified as an Etna Star. But I mean there's a lot of variation. Some you'll get the totally green leaf, some you'll get a little bit of white, some you'll get a full white back. But again, this is a Volcano, so it's a really, well, you can hear really sort of cardboardy stiff leaves. And like I say, nice green on the front, and then you've got the white on the back, so quite a nice specimen. Again, I've probably had this one for around 4 years, and I haven't found it to be too slow. I mean, this is a very, very small plant when I got it, and you know, it's done all right. Yes, let's put on some growth. It's I'm going to say it's a good 2 foot across, and probably the same high. So it's a real nice, compact. You can see there's several spears coming out the centre there. Totally unfazed by the cold we've had. I've not really seen any damage on the leaves whatsoever. Just the odd leaf here with a little brown spot, which you'll always get with these more Mediterranean species. They don't like damp winter, so you will get a bit of brown spot on the leaves. That's not really going to hurt the plant. This doesn't look very nice, but yeah, real nice, no problem whatsoever. Nice hardy. Right, so we've done 4 which has shown no signs of damage, so let's do the one that's shown the most signs of damage, which is behind. Washingtonia robusta. And I said it in a previous video, you expect these to take damage, especially when you're getting repeated frosts. And to be fair, this is probably the worst I've ever seen it look. So 2 weeks after the heavy frosts, and we can see these leaves are already give up and died. They're browned off. You know, look quite nasty. But well, I'm going to leave the leaves on, obviously, just for any, you know, we've still got a couple of months, at least 2 months of winter left, and that is just going to stop the frosts getting into the crown. So worst thing you can do is cut the leaves off at this stage. They're not going to do any harm to the plant. Leave them there, and they're going to give a little bit of frost protection to the actual sort of crown of the palm. So leave them on. Not too concerned that this is not going to die on me. We've got a nice spear there showing no signs of damage whatsoever, and we have got a pure green leaf there, which was under the canopy of the Tetrapanax, which I've since cut back after them hard frosts, because obviously the leaves browned and drooped and they were ready to fall off anyway, so I just cut them off just to tidy it up. So that, yeah, the Tetrapanax is here, and so yeah, some of the big leaves were coming over and effectively protecting that leaf, so that's why that one's looking nice and green while the rest are looking quite poor. So again, that tells me you could fleece or cover the leaves with something for short periods of frost, and that would give you a bit of protection. But again, I still believe by the end of winter that leaf is going to give up anyway. So we always pretty much start from scratch every year with the Washingtonias, but again, they throw out so many leaves throughout the summer that, you know, by midsummer they're looking good again, so that's not a problem. Right, so we have actually got a small Phoenix canariensis at the back here, which all summer was sort of covered. You couldn't really see it because of the, like I say, the Tetrapanax and the banana, which obviously I cut the leaves off that as well now. But yeah, so we've got quite a big canopy in this corner in general, but this time of year that does reveal the Phoenix canariensis, which I nearly always forget about, to be fair. But so let's have a look at that. So again, quite a small palm. So at the back of the board here, it's probably not getting as much sun as it should do, obviously due to the canopy of the Tetrapanax and the banana leaves, but to be fair, small plant, and no damage on that whatsoever. So this is going to be a palm which may be touch and go in some areas of the UK. And to be fair, I have lost these canary date palms before, probably just due to the fact that they're freshly imported and I didn't protect them properly for the first few winters. But again, just giving them first couple of years, just looking after them, and they can be quite hardy. So that's not looking too bad. It's got several spears there, and even the old leaves are still looking good. And out of interest, we have got another waggy at the back here as well, which is again probably not as much growth as the other one we looked at the start of the video, just due to the fact that it's more shaded at the back there. Right, so just a selection of palms there and some observations of possible damage. And in fairness, other than the Washingtonia robusta, which we expect to take damage, everything else is looking really good. What I will say is, underneath this fleece we've got that clump of palm grass, which is the first winter period I've had. I brought it or this summer, should I say. It's not quite New Year's yet. So yeah, we bought it in the beginning of summer, done really well, put on loads of growth. I thought, oh, we'll try it in the ground. I'll whack a frost cloth over it. Did leave a couple of the, say, fronds, I guess they're leaves or fronds from the grass themselves. It's not a palm, it is a grass, but it looks like a palm. Yeah, so that's wrapped up. I haven't actually gone inside and looked at it, but I can see from the outside that it has got green on it, so that's not too bad. We have left a couple of the leaves out, so that one we can see has turned to mush. And I did leave another one out here, so with that -4, I can happily say that has killed that. So whether the frost cloth will protect the rest of the plant, hopefully it will, but I'm not going to open it up just yet. We'll leave that as is. Right, so there's the palms, which have done rather well considering the cold, to one plant that hasn't, and we'll finish up on this one. Not looking good at all is the Yucca Jewel. So I've got 4 of these, and the other 3 are absolutely fine. I've got one near my greenhouse, which is looking flawless. I've got one in the front garden, which is looking really good, and one in a pot in the front as well, just over the under the overhang of the house, and that's fine. But this one, we can see, is really not done well. I mean, the centre has collapsed, and that is spear pulled there, so we know the top of this is going to be gone. But to be fair, they've done exactly the same thing last year, this particular plant. And from that we got some side shoots, you see down the bottom here. So even though the top head has taken damage and will probably die back, the plant itself will live on. I don't know if you can see that, there's a new little shoot coming from the side. So that top part has already flopped. We can see the leaves are pretty much dead, they're not going to come back. So that will, over the course of winter, probably drop the leaves on that, and that'll live on from the trunk. Right, I think that's going to cover it for this little area, and just to look at some different variety of palms and how they coped, and in general they didn't do too bad. Alright, thanks for watching.